50 wild facts about France. Did you know that France once had a king who ruled for 72 years, longer than any other monarch in European history? Or that this European powerhouse somehow extends across 5 continents through its overseas territories? About the fact that beneath Paris, it hides catacombs containing the remains of over 6 million people? Well, France is jam-packed with crazy facts like this, and we have 50 of them for you. So let's get right into it. Fact 50. Triple continental presence. At the heart of France's global reach, 3 distinct geographic realities collide in a way almost no other nation can match. Drive through metropolitan France and you'll find temperate European landscapes with rolling vineyards and Gothic cathedrals. Fly to French Guiana and you'll discover Amazonian rainforest hosting Europe's spaceport. Head to Réunion Island and you'll encounter active volcanoes in the Indian Ocean. There are only a handful of nations on the entire planet where European, South American, and tropical island territories blend under one flag, and France's is the most extensive. Basically the geographic crossroads of the post-colonial world. Fact 49. The Singing Mountain. In the Pyrenees near the Spanish border, there's a mountain phenomenon that literally hums with wind. The Cirque de Gavarnie creates acoustic effects where wind whistles through limestone amphitheaters, producing haunting tones. The sound changes with wind speed and temperature, creating nature's own organ. But here's the weird part. This UNESCO World Heritage Site features waterfalls dropping 1,400 feet, among Europe's tallest. Scientists credit the unique geology and curved rock walls for the acoustic properties. But nobody fully agrees on the exact mechanism. It's one of Europe's strangest natural soundscapes, a mountain that refuses to stay silent. Fact 48. Most visited country on Earth. France doesn't just attract tourists. Every year, the country welcomes over 89 million international visitors, more than any nation on the planet. Not millions, nearly 90 million. Imagine trying to count them all while they flood into Paris, the French Riviera, and Loire Valley chateaus. It sounds so insane that France's tourism numbers exceed its entire population. The combination of world-class museums, culinary reputation, and romantic imagery draws visitors from every continent. Whether you're an art lover or beach enthusiast, France has become the world's most desired destination. And that's the bigger point. In most countries, tourism is significant. In France, it's a defining national industry worth over 60 billion euros annually. Fact 47. Extreme elevation diversity. Think your country has varied landscapes? France laughs at that. The nation spans from sea level along its 3,400 miles of coastline to 15,774 feet at Mont Blanc in the Alps. That's nearly 3 vertical miles, creating climate zones from Mediterranean beaches to glaciated peaks. The result is France hosts dramatically different ecosystems in remarkably compact space. Subtropical Corsican maquis gives way to lavender-covered Provence, which transitions to alpine meadows, climbing through coniferous forests to permanent snowfields. One day you're swimming in the Mediterranean, the next you're skiing in Chamonix. This puts France among Europe's most geographically diverse nations. Fact 46. The birthplace of cinema. France has an unusual distinction in world cultural history. Meet the Lumiere brothers in Lyon, the inventors who screened the world's first public film showing on December 28, 1895. Their 10 short films, including Workers Leaving the Lumiere Factory, launched an entirely new art form. The audience reportedly fled in terror when a train appeared to rush toward them on screen. That 50-second film changed entertainment forever. So while tourists admire France's ancient cathedrals and Renaissance art, they're also walking through the birthplace of cinema. This industrial city in southeastern France secretly witnessed humanity's first steps into moving pictures. Fact 45. Temperature extremes. France doesn't just do mild European weather. It also recorded some serious heat and cold for a temperate country. On August 12, 2003, Conquerac hit 44.1 degrees Celsius, 111.4 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to rival desert nations. That's extreme heat for a country associated with pleasant climate. At that temperature, elderly citizens died by the thousands in the historic heat wave. Meanwhile, Mouth in the Jura Mountains regularly drops below -30 degrees Celsius, -22 degrees Fahrenheit in winter, earning it the nickname Little Siberia of France. So while most European countries stay comfortable, France swings from Mediterranean warmth to near Arctic cold. Fact 44. Nuclear power dominance. France's energy revolution didn't stop with the Enlightenment. The country generates over 70% of its electricity from nuclear power, the highest percentage of any nation. Following the 1973 oil crisis, France committed to energy independence through an aggressive nuclear program. Today, 56 reactors power French homes and industry. Engineers designed a standardized reactor system that streamlined construction and operation. It's a reminder that France isn't just historic chateau and wine country. It's also where one of the world's most ambitious energy transformations succeeded, for better or worse. Fact 43. The Catacombs Underground Empire. Paris hides one of the most macabre sights on Earth, the catacombs. These tunnels hold the remains of over 6 million people, their bones arranged in decorative patterns along mile after mile of subterranean passages. When Parisian cemeteries overflowed in the late 1700s, authorities relocated remains into abandoned limestone quarries. The result is a vast underground ossuary that stretches far beyond the public tour route. And, if you're brave enough to explore beyond legal areas, you'll find a hidden world of secret rooms, underground parties, and urban explorers who've mapped hundreds of miles of restricted passages. A city of the dead that few tourists fully comprehend. Fact 42. The world's longest wine route. Through Alsace, France's Route des Vins stretches 170 kilometers of continuous vineyards, medieval villages, and tasting rooms. This isn't just a scenic drive. It's a journey through 2,000 years of winemaking tradition, filtered through Germanic and French cultural influences. What you're experiencing isn't just wine. It's the liquid expression of terroir, finally offered to visitors after generations of refinement. The half-timbered villages look virtually unchanged from medieval times. Wine enthusiasts pilgrimage here because the Rieslings and Gewürztraminers rival anything from Germany, while maintaining distinct French character. Fact 41. Europe's tallest sand dune. Think massive sand dunes only exist in deserts? France would like a word. The Dune du Pilat near Bordeaux rises 110 meters, 360 feet, above sea level and stretches 2.7 kilometers along the Atlantic coast. This isn't a gentle beach. Some sections are steep enough that climbing to the top leaves you breathless. The dune consumes pine forest at about 5 meters per year, burying trees in its relentless eastward march. When conditions align perfectly, you can sandboard down slopes that feel more Saharan than European. France doesn't just have beaches. It has the tallest sand mountain in Europe. Fact 40. More Nobel Prizes in literature than any country except the USA. Here's something that'll make literary scholars excited. France has produced 15 Nobel Prize winners in literature, more than any European nation. From Anatole France to Albert Camus to Patrick Modiano, French writers have dominated this prestigious award. How does one country produce so much literary excellence? It's all about that cultural emphasis on intellectual life. Prestigious literary prizes like the Prix Goncourt, and a publishing industry that treats authors as national treasures. You could literally spend a lifetime reading French literature and never exhaust the canon. Fact 39. The Seine, Paris's lifeline. France's capital owes everything to one river, the Seine. For centuries, it's been the city's commercial highway, defensive moat, and romantic backdrop. Flowing 777 kilometers from Burgundy to the English Channel, the river made Paris possible as a trading hub. In a city where water meant power, this river still flows exactly as medieval merchants saw it. Essential, beautiful, and central to Parisian identity. Fact 38. Versailles' staggering excess. The Palace of Versailles is opulence hiding in plain sight. At its peak, over 100,000 people lived and worked in this complex, more than many European cities. Created by Louis XIV to consolidate royal power and impress foreign dignitaries, the palace cost roughly 2 billion euros in today's money. The Hall of Mirrors alone contains 357 mirrors, an astronomical luxury when mirrors cost more than paintings. The gardens, designed by André Lenotre, span 800 hectares with 50 fountains. This Baroque monument proves that France wasn't just powerful, it was a nation that turned power into art. Fact 37. The world's most expensive bottle of wine. France doesn't just make prestigious wines. In 2018, a bottle of 1945 Romanée Conti sold for $558,000 at Sotheby's, setting the record for most expensive wine ever sold. That's more than most houses for a single bottle. This Burgundy vineyard produces fewer than 6,000 bottles annually from 1.8 hectares, making it perhaps the world's most exclusive wine. While other countries make expensive wines, France built entire economic ecosystems around viticulture where single vineyards command cult followings. Because when you're France, even your agriculture needs to be legendary. Fact 36. Europe's last territorial adjustment. France shares a unique geographic quirk with Spain. At the Pheasant Island in the Bidasoa River, sovereignty alternates every 6 months. For half the year, it's French. The other half, Spanish. This arrangement dates to the 1659 Treaty of the Pyrenees. Stand on this tiny island and you're witnessing Europe's strangest border, where nationality changes with the calendar. The island sits on the Basque Country border, making the arrangement part of centuries of complex Franco-Spanish relations. It basically makes this river island Europe's only seasonally shared territory. Fact 35. Volcanic landscapes still visible. Drive through the Auvergne region and you'll see extinct volcanic cones dotting the landscape like geological monuments. These aren't random hills. They're evidence of violent volcanism that ended only 6,000 years ago, which in geological terms is remarkably recent. The Chêne des Puys contains over 80 volcanic formations, some preserving perfectly circular craters. We're talking about volcanoes so recent that Neolithic peoples likely witnessed the final eruptions. These volcanic remnants scattered across central France prove that when the Earth gets restless here, it creates landscapes lasting millennia. Fact 34. The glowing sea bioluminescence. Along certain Brittany beaches sits one of Europe's most magical natural phenomena. Bioluminescent plankton occasionally lights up the waves with electric blue glows, creating scenes straight from fantasy. This isn't a regular occurrence, but when conditions align, warm water, specific plankton blooms, the Atlantic Ocean along France's western coast sparkles like liquid starlight. The effect becomes even more spectacular in late summer. These aren't enhanced photos or tourist tricks. They're nature's own light show, creating one of the most photogenic marine displays in Europe. Fact 33. The town that perfume built. In Grasse on the French Riviera, the perfume industry created a city. Since the 16th century, this Provençal town has been the world's perfume capital. Perfume houses like Fragonard and Molinard have operated here for centuries, processing flowers from surrounding fields into fragrances. At its peak, jasmine and roses covered the hillsides, harvested before dawn when aromatic compounds peaked. Today, you can still visit perfumeries and even create custom scents. But this isn't just tourism. It's living heritage linking medieval craft traditions to modern luxury goods. Grasse literally smells like history. Fact 32. The country that's not actually hexagonal. France isn't just big, it's distinctively shaped. At 643,801 square kilometers of European territory, the lexagon, is so geometrically satisfying that French people use it as shorthand for their country. If it broke off from Europe and floated away, France would still be larger than Spain or Sweden. But here's the kicker. Add overseas territories: French Guiana, Martinique, Réunion, French Polynesia, New Caledonia, and France's total area exceeds 643,000 square kilometers. Spread across multiple oceans and time zones, the French Republic spans the globe. The result? France claims the second largest exclusive economic zone in the world, over 11 million square kilometers of ocean. Fact 31. Population density paradox. France is one of Europe's less crowded countries with a population density of just 119 people per square kilometer. To put that in perspective, Germany has 232 per square kilometer, making France feel spacious by comparison. Yet France has 67 million people, the third largest population in Europe. This paradox exists because Paris and its suburbs concentrate 20% of the population, while vast rural areas remain sparsely inhabited. It's not unusual to drive through central France and pass through villages with more cows than people, more vineyards than houses, and more medieval churches than gas stations. Fact 30. The Prehistoric Art Revolution. In the Vézère Valley of southwestern France, scientists made discoveries that rewrote our understanding of human creativity. The Lascaux caves contain paintings dated to 17,000 years ago, pushing back the timeline of sophisticated art. When 4 teenagers discovered them in 1940, they revealed Paleolithic artists painting charging bulls, running horses, and mysterious geometric symbols. The paintings are so vivid and technically accomplished that early skeptics claimed they must be modern forgeries. France literally holds evidence that humans were sophisticated artists long before they built cities or invented writing. Fact 29. A labyrinth beneath the Alps. Hidden beneath France's Alps lies the Gouffre Berger, one of the deepest cave systems in the world. Stretching to over 1,000 meters depth, it's filled with vertical shafts, underground rivers, and chambers that took decades to explore fully. Giant stalactites hang from ceilings, and subterranean waterfalls thunder in the darkness, giving the cave an almost mythological quality. It's a place where you can see up close the slow artistry of erosion and mineral deposition working underground for millions of years. Fact 28. The river with royal significance. The Loire isn't just France's longest river at over 1,000 kilometers. For French monarchs, it was the heart of royal France, lined with chateaux that served as royal residences and hunting lodges. This river valley contains more Renaissance architecture than anywhere outside Italy. Flowing from the Massif Central to the Atlantic, the river created a natural highway for trade and military movement. You can only understand French Renaissance history by understanding this river. It's not just water flowing through countryside. It's the liquid thread connecting the chateaux where French culture flowered during its golden age. The exact palaces that line its banks today look wildly similar to structures built 500 years ago, demonstrating continuity between Renaissance glory and modern heritage tourism. Fact 27. Perfectly preserved medieval cities. Jumping to architectural history, France contains some of Europe's most significant walled cities. Carcassonne, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, preserves a complete medieval fortified city. These aren't simple walls. They're sophisticated double ramparts with 52 towers, demonstrating advanced military architecture. The city was so perfectly restored in the 19th century by Viollet-le-Duc that it looks more medieval than actual medieval ruins. You can actually walk the ramparts, explore Barbican gates, and enter the chateau, like examining a civilization that thrived during the Crusades. Historians consider Carcassonne one of the finest examples of medieval military architecture, earning it protection and intensive study. Fact 26. Ancient Celtic heritage still visible. Scattered throughout Brittany are standing stones that defy easy explanation. The Carnac stones comprise over 3,000 prehistoric megaliths, arranged in rows stretching for kilometers. Erected between 4,500 and 3,300 BCE, these monuments predate Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids. Today, visitors can walk among these stones, and they're so numerous that their original purpose remains hotly debated. Astronomical calendar, religious site, territorial marker? That means visitors right now can literally stand where Neolithic peoples conducted ceremonies over 6,000 years ago. It's not just an archaeological site, it's a landscape where prehistory still dominates. Fact 25. Cheese diversity unmatched. France isn't just bread and wine, it's hiding staggering dairy diversity. With over 400 distinct cheese varieties, from soft camembert to hard comté, France produces more cheese types than any other country. Each region has signature cheeses reflecting local milk, climate, and centuries of tradition. In the Auvergne, volcanic soil creates unique pasture flavors. In Normandy, maritime climate influences cheese aging. General de Gaulle famously asked, "How can you govern a country which has 246 varieties of cheese?" And that was an undercount. Walk through any French market and you'll encounter wheels, logs, and pyramids of cheese in colors from chalk white to rust orange. In much of France, cheese isn't just food, it's regional identity expressed through fermentation. Fact 24. The language police are real. France takes linguistic preservation seriously through the Académie Française, established in 1635. This 40-member body officially determines what is and isn't proper French, publishing dictionaries and ruling on new words. When English terms invade, email, smartphone, hashtag, the Academy coins French alternatives, courriel, ordophone, mot dièse. Laws require businesses to use French in advertising and contracts. Radio stations must play at least 40% French-language music. This linguistic protectionism sometimes feels quixotic in our globalized world, but it reflects deep anxiety about preserving French as a global language. While most countries accept linguistic evolution, France legislates it. Fact 23. Ancient Roman ruins rival Italy. Scattered throughout southern France are Roman structures that rival anything in Rome itself. Nîmes contains a Roman amphitheater so well preserved it still hosts concerts and bullfights 2,000 years after construction. The Maison Carrée temple looks like it was built yesterday, with Corinthian columns and perfect proportions intact. These aren't reconstructions, they're original Roman buildings that survived because medieval cities continued using them. That means visitors right now can literally sit where Romans watched gladiators and attend contemporary concerts in structures older than Christianity. It's not just archaeological tourism, it's active reuse of 2,000-year-old architecture. Fact 22. Lavender fields beyond imagination. Provence isn't just picturesque countryside, it's hiding one of Europe's most photogenic agricultural landscapes. In the Valensole Plateau, lavender fields stretch to the horizon in purple waves. These aren't wild plants, they're cultivated for essential oil production, blooming from late June through July. The scent is so intense that driving with windows down becomes an aromatherapy session. At Senonc Abbey, a 12th century Cistercian monastery sits surrounded by lavender, creating one of France's most photographed scenes. Walk here and it feels less like farming and more like stepping into an impressionist painting. Fact 21. Ancient Celtic language survives. In Brittany, you'll encounter signs in a language that looks nothing like French. Breton, a Celtic language related to Welsh and Cornish, has survived centuries of French cultural dominance. About 200,000 people still speak it, concentrated in western Brittany. Etched on bilingual signs are place names preserving pre-Roman linguistic heritage. The language nearly died out in the 20th century when French schools punished children for speaking it, but revival movements have brought it back to bilingual schools. But here's the powerful message. This isn't just an old language. It's living proof that France isn't linguistically monolithic. Regional languages persist despite centuries of Parisian centralization. Fact 20. Europe's oldest inhabited city. France isn't just home to Roman ruins. Marseille, founded by Greek colonists around 600 BCE, claims to be France's oldest city. From this Mediterranean port, Phoenician and Greek traders connected with Celtic tribes. Together, Marseille's continuous habitation stretches over 2,600 years. That's older than Paris by centuries. The Vieux Port, Old Port, still functions as a harbor, making it one of Europe's oldest continuously used ports. Walking Marseille's steep streets means stepping into layers of history where ancient Greek foundations underlie Roman construction, overlaid by medieval buildings. Fact 19. Europe's highest cable car. The Aiguille du Midi cable car outside Chamonix is one of the highest in the world. The 20-minute ride ascends to 3,842 meters, 12,605 feet, climbing over sheer granite walls and massive glaciers. Along the way, you rise from Alpine Valley through zones of decreasing oxygen, ending at a viewing platform where Mont Blanc dominates the horizon. Locals call it the most stunning cable car in Europe, and for good reason. 1 minute you're in the valley. The next you're at altitude where breathing becomes difficult. The cable car offers unobstructed views where you can see the Matterhorn in Switzerland and peaks stretching across 3 countries. It's basically a vertical journey into the high Alps. No mountaineering required. Except here, you don't climb to altitude. You float up in minutes. Fact 18. The tidal island that defies logic. On the Normandy coast lies a fortified abbey so iconic, it's become France's most recognizable landmark after the Eiffel Tower. Mont Saint-Michel rises from tidal flats, cut off from land during high tides. Imagine a Gothic abbey crowning a granite cone, accessible only via a causeway that floods twice daily. It's nature's own fortress, enhanced by medieval builders. The kicker, You can watch the tides race across the bay at walking speed, one of Europe's most dramatic tidal ranges. The medieval village clinging to the mount has survived centuries, which is why UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site. The island is so unique that nothing comparable exists in Europe. Fact 17. Champagne's exclusive terroir. In the hills around Reims and Epernay, the ground produces bubbles that rival anything from anywhere. Champagne isn't just a wine, it's a legally protected designation. Only sparkling wine from this specific region can be called champagne. The chalk soil, cool climate, and centuries of refinement create wines that command premium prices worldwide. Dom Perignon perfected the méthode champenoise here in the 17th century. Today, genuine champagne remains strictly regulated, prized for its prestige and celebratory associations. Think about that. The world's most famous sparkling wine didn't come from just anywhere. It came from a specific French region whose name became synonymous with celebration. Fact 16. Wolf and lynx recovery zones. Step into the Mercantour National Park and you're entering territory where apex predators have returned. With a small but growing population, France now hosts wolves that crossed from Italy in the 1990s, recolonizing after 70 years of absence. But that's only part of the story. Lynx are also returning to the Vosges and Jura Mountains. It's an ecosystem slowly rebalancing itself, while most of Western Europe has lost its top carnivores. And that makes France one of the few countries where you can still see how European ecosystems were meant to function. Raw, balanced, and ruled from the top down. Fact 15. Wild boar population explosion. In France's forests, wild boar have become the dominant large mammal. The population has exploded to over 2 million animals, causing agricultural damage and traffic accidents. That's more wild boar than in any other European country. Add in red deer, roe deer, and chamois, and the scoreboard tilts toward wildlife. Out here, it's not unusual to spot herds of deer crossing rural roads or boar rootling through forest undergrowth. In much of rural France, wildlife isn't just present, it's a daily management challenge. Fact 14. Biodiversity in Mediterranean zones. France isn't just big in size, it's big in biodiversity. The country is home to over 130 mammal species and more than 570 bird species. That means France is one of Europe's hotspots where Mediterranean, Atlantic, and Alpine ecosystems overlap. Flamingos wade in Camargue wetlands, while ibex scale Alpine cliffs. Provence hosts cicadas and wild thyme, while Brittany has seal colonies. Add in migratory birds by the millions using French wetlands, and you've got wildlife diversity that spans multiple climate zones. From Mediterranean tortoises to Alpine marmots, France is one of the rare Western European countries where the wild still spans remarkable variety. Fact 13. The 0033 Pride. France operates under the International Dialing Code +33. While countries like the USA have instantly recognizable codes, France's has become associated with sophistication and culture. The 33 appears on wine bottles, fashion labels, and cultural exports, becoming a shorthand for French origin. It's France's numerical calling card, instantly identifying products and culture. Even phone technology reinforces France's cultural brand. Fact 12. The Revolution's bloody legacy. From 1789 to 1799, revolutionary France was history incarnate. With a population of 28 million, it somehow spawned Europe's most transformative political upheaval. That meant guillotines, mass executions, and the reign of terror in its rawest form. Between 16,000 and 40,000 people died during the Terror alone, a conflict so violent it still divides French historical memory. Paris's Place de la Concorde, where the guillotine stood, remains a monument to this turbulent period. Unlike most European capitals that smoothed over revolutionary violence, Paris embedded it in national mythology. For a decade in history, it was more dangerous to be aristocratic in Paris than almost anywhere in Europe. Fact 11. Ariane Space Program Leadership. France hosts Europe's gateway to space. The Guiana Space Center in French Guiana operates the Ariane rocket program, launching satellites for clients worldwide. This isn't just European cooperation, it's a facility that has made France central to global telecommunications and Earth observation. Picture massive rockets lifting off from tropical rainforest, carrying payloads to geostationary orbit. The spaceport puts this overseas department on the international aerospace map and generates hundreds of millions in revenue annually. Fact 10. D-Day beaches preserve history. Along Normandy's coast, history remains tangible in ways that seem impossible. The beaches where Allied forces landed on June 6, 1944, still show evidence of that pivotal day. Walk across these sands and you can visit German bunkers, see battlefield markers, and stand where 156,000 troops came ashore. These aren't reconstructed sites. They're preserved battlefields where you can trace the liberation of Western Europe. The effect is so powerful that the beaches attract millions of visitors, especially veterans and their families. France has chosen to maintain these sites as permanent reminders of shared sacrifice. Fact 9. France's coral reef territories. Scattered across the Pacific are French territories containing some of the world's most pristine coral reefs. New Caledonia's Barrier Reef is the world's second largest, stretching 1,500 kilometers. These aren't Caribbean tourist beaches. They're UNESCO-listed marine ecosystems where biodiversity rivals anything in Australia. France's Pacific territories create marine reserves larger than many countries, protecting species found nowhere else. In overseas regions, France holds responsibility for irreplaceable marine habitats. Fact 8. Fantastically beautiful alpine lakes. In the French Alps lies Lac d'Annecy, often called Europe's cleanest lake. The water is so pure you can drink it directly, fed by alpine streams and protected by strict environmental regulations. Imagine turquoise water surrounded by mountain peaks with medieval chateaux on the shoreline. It's nature's own paradise, enhanced by centuries of careful management. Swimmers, sailors, and cyclists flock here, but strict regulations prevent overdevelopment. The lake looks remarkably similar to how it appeared 500 years ago, a rare example of tourism coexisting with preservation. Fact 7. Bastille Day celebrations. Every July 14th, France produces one of the world's most spectacular national celebrations. The Bastille Day military parade down the Champs-Élysées features troops, tanks, and a massive flyover by the Patrouille de France aerobatic team. The celebration commemorates the storming of the Bastille prison in 1789, scrap of the French Revolution. Fireworks at the Eiffel Tower attract hundreds of thousands. Historians note that few countries celebrate their revolutions with such public pride, making this one of the most distinctive national holidays anywhere.
Fact 6. The TGV Speed Revolution. France doesn't have ordinary trains. The TGV, Train à Grande Vitesse, redefined rail travel when introduced in 1981. These trains routinely operate at 320 kilometers per hour, 200 miles per hour, and a test run reached 574.8 kilometers per hour, 357 miles per hour, the world record for conventional rail. Throughout the country, high-speed rail connects cities faster than flying when you include airport time. From Paris to Marseille takes just 3 hours across 750 kilometers. Add in comfort, city center stations, and environmental benefits, and you're experiencing transportation infrastructure that revolutionized European mobility. Fact 5. French Foreign Legion mystique. Based in Aubagne in southern France, the French Foreign Legion remains one of the world's most enigmatic military forces. The Legion accepts volunteers from any country, offering French citizenship after service. Legionnaires have fought in every French conflict since 1831, from Algeria to Afghanistan. The mystique around this force, soldiers who join to forget their pasts, has inspired countless books and films. In a country known for culture and cuisine, the Legion represents France's military tradition and willingness to accept fighters regardless of origin. Fact 4. The Baguette Protection Law. France has specific regulations about what can be called a traditional baguette. A 1993 decree established that authentic baguettes can only contain flour, water, salt, and yeast, with no preservatives or freezing. It's a reminder that even bread has legal protection in France. From bakeries adhering to artisanal standards to customers who buy fresh bread twice daily, it's the kind of culinary regulation that makes you appreciate how seriously food culture operates here. Fact 3. Villages abandoned after World War I. Northern France contains red zone villages destroyed during World War I and never rebuilt. Places like Fleury-Devant-Douaumont and Beaumont-en-Verdunnois remain forested monuments where towns once stood. Shells and unexploded ordnance make these areas too dangerous for habitation. Walk these forests and you'll sense layers of tragedy, from trenches still visible to memorial markers where villages existed. These aren't tourist sites, they're protected zones where nature has reclaimed battlefields, leaving only memories of communities that ceased to exist in 1914 to 1918. Fact 2. The Mial Viaduct engineering marvel. Across the Tarn Valley in southern France, the Mial Viaduct stretches impossibly between red rock gorges. This cable-stayed bridge reaches 343 meters, 1,125 feet at its highest point, taller than the Eiffel Tower. The bridge's 7 pillars and elegant design create a structure that seems to float above the valley. When completed in 2004, it represented cutting-edge engineering. These massive spans, designed by British architect Norman Foster, make this more than infrastructure. It's automotive engineering transformed into public art. The irony isn't lost on anyone. The same gorge that isolated communities now carries traffic on one of the world's most beautiful bridges. Fact 1. The Sun King's unprecedented reign. Louis XIV represents something almost impossible to comprehend in democratic times. Uninterrupted, absolute monarchy spanning 72 years and 110 days. He became king at age 4 in 1643 and ruled until his death in 1715, making it the longest verified reign of any sovereign in European history. At Versailles, Louis constructed not just a palace, but a system of royal control where nobles competed for his favor. What makes this so remarkable? The political and cultural systems he established defined European absolutism for generations. While most monarchs faced rebellions or depositions, Louis XIV ruled unchallenged through wars, famines, and religious conflicts, establishing France as Europe's dominant power and French as its diplomatic language. L'État, c'est moi. I am the state, supposedly captured his philosophy, whether he actually said it or not. It accurately described how he ruled. His reign created the template for absolute monarchy that other European rulers tried to copy, but none sustained as long or as completely.